So the concept behind my hair is like the front half would be what I show to the world most of the time, and the back half would be more of what I hide. The front half is inspired by the ocean, and so we've got a lot of blues in there, sort of fading into a slightly green turquoise kind of thing. And that is for, water is gentler, but there's also a little bit of turmoil. The ocean can be calm or it can be chaotic, when I get depressed. So that's the basics of the front. The back is more like fire. We've got reds and yellows and oranges, and that's more, the hidden part of myself, the parts that are less acceptable, what I call the destroyer, which is an interesting psychological experience for me. And that was the basics of this hair design. Long at the front as well, that's more feminine. Short at the back, perhaps more masculine. And yeah, I would have this sticking up. And I thought when I got it that this would be sort of my forever hair, because conceptually it is pretty strong, I think, and it took me a long time to figure out, with the different parts of my personality. I thought maybe left and right, but no, for me it's very much forward and back, what's hidden in my head and what's more evident to the world. But I had a lot of problems with the hair. It's never quite met what I wanted, like trying to get the right colors for this blue. Just never quite got there. And then this part would always fade out faster. And yeah, that was a bit, I'm never really was sure why that happened. In the past, when I used to keep changing my hair colors, I never really experienced that. And then, yeah, things about the design of the back, it never quite met what I wanted. I think talking to the hairdresser, like, he did an amazing job, but it just was never quite what I wanted. Every time I try and tweak something, I could just never quite get there. With the front, mainly the colors. The last time I went in, I wanted this to be almost white, and he made it sort of a light purple instead, and yeah, that was a bit frustrating because I came in very specifically with what I wanted. Also, from the very beginning, the way that this would be, fluffed up, I didn't actually intend for the Bird of Paradise kind of look. I wanted something like what I used to get with more of the flames and just very short, spiky kind of things. Actually shorter than what it ended up being. And then the last time I went in, I wanted the undercut shaved underneath there and like with the flames, and that was great. But because the rest of the hair was too long, no one ever saw that undercut because I haven't had any reason to go anywhere to put the hair up, so it was just hidden and no one ever saw it. I really wanted it to be shaved and visible, even when my hair was down, like when it used to be. So there's a lot of things like that, trying to communicate to the hairdresser what I wanted. There were always little things that we just didn't quite get the communication right. And then also with some of the cutting style, I noticed some issues with the way these became uneven and my split ends kept coming, and he did this bleach treatment, but I never really understood what the purpose of that was, because I don't really know hair. Having colourful hair makes people think that I know about hair, but really it just means I know someone who knows about hair, and that would be my hairdresser. But yeah, my old hairdressers used to do much more with bleach with me, and I didn't notice any problems. And with the bleach treatment, fancy stuff, I don't notice any difference. So yeah, I've had this hair for a while, but I'm not really, I don't know, the maintenance, I have to get it done every 3 or 4 months, and then I have nowhere to go to show it off. Partly because the pandemic keeps getting in the way, but also partly because I've just been flat, and I haven't really wanted to go anywhere, and when I have gone places, I haven't felt what I used to feel. I just sort of feel empty, and sometimes I go home and I just feel worse. I've tried to engage in society, and it's just not happening. So why am I maintaining this hairstyle if I never go anywhere, if people hardly ever see it? It just feels a bit pointless. And yeah, and then on top of that, it's La Nina for the second year in a row in Sydney, and I'm glad that it's not 40 degrees, but yeah, the humidity is really annoying. And so yeah, and then the main places I am is either I'm either at home where no one can see me except the internet, just sitting at home doing my thing, or I'm at bonsai at work where I have to tie my hair away anyway so that it doesn't get in the way of my work. And it just feels like, why do I have this hair like this? And there are things I can't do with it, for example, going swimming, because I don't want bleach or whatever to get into the Sorry, I don't want the salt water or chlorine to get into the bleach and like make the colors all weird and ruin my hair and all that. So yeah, it's hard to cool down unless I'm in front of a fan or the aircon. Yeah, so no one's gonna see me. I'm not in a band at the moment. It's been hard to find a band. I haven't been performing solo, although I'm sort of working towards that again. I feel like I need to. It's just so hard to be motivated. So what's the point? What's the point of looking like this? I don't know, like why am I putting in all the effort? So, yeah, I guess the laziness has kicked in. And now that I've been diagnosed with schizoid personality disorder, I'm sort of rethinking my life. And just thinking about my psychology, and I realize I don't really have a sense of identity at the moment. Like, I know people will look at me and think, oh, this is her. But I don't feel it. I feel like I have no identity. I can remember pieces of my life, and I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm that, but I don't feel it. I can intellectualize it, but I don't feel like I have a sense of self. So that's another thing. Why do I have this hair presenting myself a particular way if I don't really feel it? So what's the point of it? And with schizoid personality disorder, I feel like it's time to sort of embrace whatever that is, maybe start again, maybe just erase the identity that I've constructed out in the world and go back to a sort of, I don't know, start again, figure out who I am and go forward from there. And that's what I'm thinking about today. It's done, and this is me now, and I don't care what anyone thinks of it. Back to basics, starting over. Yeah, I don't care what anyone thinks. I know I'll disappoint a lot of people. There are a lot of people who liked my hair, including the locals. I live in a conservative area, and yeah, the kids as I passed by the playground, they'd call me rainbow hair, and I used to get compliments everywhere, and like, it's cute, but that's not why I got the hair. I got it, to say something about me, and people misinterpreted it as rainbow hair. It wasn't meant to be rainbow. It was never about rainbows. I don't know why I keep walking into that by accident. So we're starting again, and I'm back to that, blank slate, sort of military loss of identity, because I don't know who I am and I don't know where I'm going. And with this diagnosis, schizoid personality disorder, I have so much to discover. So away we go with the past, and I'll figure things out from here and, be a bit more practical. I'm not sure if I got everything. I might need some help to fix it up because I feel like I can sense little bits of purple still in there. But not too bad. I went down to a number 2 on that thing, and yeah, pretty short and very free. And so now I don't have to deal with that long hair that, sometimes I have an intention for something to mean something and everyone interprets it differently. So, yeah, I think this is just what I needed to do to start again. I know Mum wasn't too happy with me doing this, but yeah, I've wanted to actually shave my hair for a long time. Hair's not that important to me. It's just, I mean, I don't even have my ears pierced. I don't have the patience for playing with my appearance a lot unless I have a specific purpose. So, if I'm gigging, then I want to express whatever it is my music is expressing. But I think I've got to reassess like so much stuff, start over, and I have some ideas about where I want to go and how I want to use my hair for my creativity, and I'm shedding like crazy all the bits. I'm going to have a shower and get rid of that. But maybe I'll wait until I've actually, wait until Mum gets home and checks that I've done it all right, because there's no point showering twice, right? Oh, and showering's going to be so much easier because I don't have to worry about, making sure I wash the blue forward and the red backwards. There's just so much that went into that hairstyle and I wasn't getting anything from it, so why bother? Why not just bring it back to this? And it's been a long time since I've had short hair. It's the first time I've actually ever shaved it, especially going from such a dramatic style to this. And yeah, that's all I've really got, I think. I feel like I had other thoughts, but yeah, just getting it done, emptying everything out, and now I can move on with my life, not be worrying. Look, my part is protesting. I've had that part for I don't know how long. Just sort of empty everything out and start again, move on. Hey, so it's been almost 2 weeks since I shaved my hair. I actually did it on the 17th of January, which is a week after my schizoid diagnosis. Yes, I've been keeping it secret since then, but if you're on my Patreon, you will have already seen pictures through the little lens thing where I can take like quick photos, a bit like stories. That's their version of stories is lens. Even Facebook hasn't seen me like this. I did post a picture of the aftermath with all the hair on the ground, but no one has actually seen a picture of me like this. Yeah, so Patreon is actually where it's at. Now, I didn't do this reveal until now because I was waiting for the Punk Rave Australia video to go live. That was the last thing I really needed to film with the coloured hair because, the coloured skirt and the mask, and it all went really well with the hair. Yeah, and I thought I should wait until that goes live to do the reveal because I don't want to confuse anyone, going between the different hair and all that. And so that's done. And then here I am. And the next Punk Rave Australia video will have me with my shaved hair. Anyway, so since it's been almost 2 weeks. So since then, I have had some updates on people's reactions. My mum was actually kind of on board. I mean, the whole reason I started colouring my hair in the first place is because she wouldn't let me shave it more than a decade ago. And so I thought, well, you haven't told me I can't colour it. So I ran off and coloured it, which she also liked. But yeah, no, now I finally was like, you know what, I'm just shaving it. And so she came home and very positive, like, oh, actually, I like that. And, she helped me fix things up. Although, as time's gone on, and I think my hair, my hair's so used to having weight on it. So as it learns to stand up a bit more, I am noticing little bits that are still a bit long. And so I just get some scissors and cut them a bit. And maybe at some point I'll do an extra shave just to even it all out as the hair settles. But yeah, so she enjoyed it. But she did say I looked like, one of the, I forget what the Japanese word is for it already, but one of the little temple, the boys who look after the temples in Japan, she said I looked like that, which is kind of amusing, and also that I'm aging in reverse. So she thought before I shaved my hair that I looked like I was in senior high school, and now apparently I look like I'm in junior high school. Which I know is a very sort of American sounding terminology, but they talk about it like that in Japan. Whereas in Australia, we kind of don't use that sort of terminology. Anyway, so basically late high school, early high school. Oh my goodness. Anyway, apart from that, so the other major reaction I got was from my boss at Bonsai. When I turned up, like I had been foreshadowing that I was going to do it because yeah, having to keep my hair out of the way to do the job, super annoying. Anyway, yeah, he thought it was pretty cool, and he also thought I looked like a 9-year-old boy now. So yeah, interesting. Um, and then, as for like walking around the streets where I live in my conservative neighborhood, I'm now anonymous again. Like I still sort of have that feeling of like, are people looking at me? But now they're not because I kind of just blend in. I don't have that really attention catching hair. So I can just go on my way and people don't really bother me. I did bump into an aunt and uncle who had a chat with me. That's about it. If they don't already know me, no one really stops me anymore. I don't think they recognize the way I dress and my dog. It was really the hair that distracted. So I can just be anonymous. And now I can control when people notice me and when I don't. So, if I dress more normal, I go under the radar. But if I want to dress up, I can still catch attention. Anyway, so you've seen that I've had a few different angles of how I filmed it, and my plans for that, I don't know how well it will go, but I'm thinking of doing some kind of art exhibition-y kind of thing and having that as either a 4-channel video or I suppose I could do a 3-channel video, or editing them together into one 4K video where you have the different perspectives playing simultaneously. We'll see how that goes. And like maybe the fourth panel would be potentially these vlogs, which is going to be really weird if this is in the gallery right now and someone is watching it, like super meta. But we like meta things, right? Art people like meta. Otherwise, maybe I do some kind of text-based art. I've also got footage of, the hair on the ground at the end, and I'm thinking of doing some paintings, and I've also still got my bag of hair, and what do I do with that? I've just thinking maybe that's what I focus doing an art thing on, because I've got so much material for it and so many sort of ideas to explore. So we'll see how that goes. And then I have some other plans for the future, but I'm not going to tell you them yet. If you want to keep track of that, I probably will start posting some things on Patreon. So, yeah, a little plug for that. But it is only like $1, and I think you can do it in other currencies these days. So if you want to be part of my club, if you want to be part of my cult, for the moment I've decided not to do YouTube memberships because I have too much going on. I have this long to-do list and I'm trying to get my psychology back on track, and it's been really hard. The past week I've had so much insomnia and it's really affected my mood because it's not just schizoid personality disorder. I also still have issues with depression and I can't hold on to good things for long enough and inspiration for long enough. It all fades so quickly, and so it's just keeping track on that. Anyway, so no YouTube memberships for the moment because I just can't handle it. It's too much. So I'm just sticking with the platforms that I have. That's to update you. You are now up to date with my life, and the next Punk Rave Australia will have this short haircut. It's been very comfortable. I do still kind of forget sometimes that I've cut it short, so sometimes when I'm doing things I'll try and push it out of the way and realize the hair's not there. A bit like when I'm wearing contacts and I'll just instinctively try to adjust my glasses and then realize they're not there. I think my part is still a little bit there, but it's starting to fade away. I do have a little bit of color in these areas, and I'm not sure if that's because the hair's thinner and maybe it picked up the dye as I was washing it. I have wondered, do I have some grey hairs? But they might just be thin hairs that are reflecting the light differently. So I'll have to wait until it grows a little bit more to see if I've got grey hairs, which is exciting if it does happen, because that's proof that I do age and I'm not some kind of weird vampire girl or Time Lord reversing my age. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to stop because if this is going to go in that artwork, then this extra ramble will go longer than the shaving video, and we can't have that, can we? I'm really bad at keeping things short. Goodbye.